Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of 108 Stitches Baseball Talk. My name is Scott Morgan of Motor City Badmouth. Glad to have our good crew today here. We got Eric Katz here on 108 Stitches Baseball Talk. Glad to have you back, Eric.
Good to be here, Scott.
And we got Candy Embley in the house.
It's always good to be here talking about the boys of summer.
And we got my battery mate, Barry Foote.
Better late than never.
It's okay. It's all good. You're here. That's all that matters. And Tony, the talking game. We're going to be talking the great American pastime with Tony tonight.
Let's do it.
All right. We're going to do a lot of this show under rapid fire. Mainly the whole purpose of the show is give you some World Baseball Classic updates and some hot stove news as well. Let's get right to it. The Colorado Rockies have signed journeyman pitcher Michael Lorenzen to a one-year contract. Rockies obviously had a 43-119 mark. The 119 losses are the most in the NL since 120 by the 1962 New York Mets. Eric, do you think Lorenzen is going to get any kind of production?
His ERA is going to, like anybody who goes to pitch in Colorado, his ERA is going to balloon. I think what the Rockies are doing is they got a young staff, so I think they're trying to get a vet in there who can kind of show him how it's done in the big leagues. He's had some modest success during his time. I think it's just a way to show the young pitching staff how it's done. But I'm not anticipating him to be like a real difference maker.
What do you think, Barry?
He looks good in the lobby. He looks good in the uniform. I'm not sure how good he's going to be in that ballpark, tough ballpark. But he's a veteran guy. He also can swing the bat, so maybe they'll use him as a pinch hitter too.
That's pretty good. All right, Tony.
For somebody whose ERA is always around the 4, sometimes 5 mark, hitters are going to love seeing him in Colorado. Okay, it's going to be bombs away in Colorado. But you know what? Shout outs to the Rockies. They're actually signing players, something that the Red Sox have yet to do. So at least they're trying in free agency.
Candy.
You know, he made his major league debut back in April 29th of 2015. He's played for a handful of teams. Yes, his ERA is at 4.08. His win-loss record is 54-55. So he's teetering right there. And he has thrown 826 strikeouts. So, Colorado is a tough place to pitch. Definitely will be interesting this year. But he brings it alongside a little veteran leadership, so hopefully that'll help them.
Yeah, Coors Field isn't too kind for anybody, and the only one that ever went there voluntarily was Mike Hampton, who went there mainly because he could hit, because he certainly could pitch when he got there, as nobody ever could. All right, let's continue on. Looking back at a trade that occurred last summer, the Detroit Tigers acquired right-handed pitcher Rafael Montero from the Atlanta Braves. They traded away Double-A outfielder Jim Jarvis. Eric, obviously, there was a trade that helped Detroit get to the playoffs, but what are your thoughts about what the takeaways were for the Montero trade for the Tigers?
Well, he was really great in 20 starts for the Tigers down the stretch. He had a 2.86 ERA. So, it was a good trade for Detroit. It actually was probably one of the more surprising, successful trades that I think was done. And because coming into it, he wasn't having that great of a year, with the Braves, and he had been with the Astros already, and then he had gone to the Braves, and he hadn't been too good in either place, and so he managed to, just do really well in Detroit.
Barry?
Well, I think anytime you get a guy that comes in that helps you get in the playoffs, it's a good trade. And sometimes you have to give up prospects to do that. And so I think it probably at this time it's probably a win-win for both organizations.
Tony?
Yeah, it's one of the rare trades that doesn't seem like someone got slighted in. Like you say, you want to have somebody who can help you go into the playoffs, but you got to give a little to get a little. So that's just the name of the game, and it's worked out for everybody.
Candy?
For the Braves last year in 36 games, he pitched to a 5.50 ERA with 34 strikeouts across 34 and a third innings. For the Tigers, he made 20 relief appearances, pitched to a 2.86 ERA with 19 strikeouts in 22 innings. So sometimes it's also the trades are about who. It's also about where you're going and what kind of team you're going to. And he had more success with the Tigers. So sometimes you just need to change the scenery.
America Park will do that to you. They have good pitch. I think Mike Fenner is the pitching coach. If I understand for the Tigers, he's really pretty good as well. So when you go to contending team, it certainly worked out well. Do you know if he's still with the Tigers now, Candy, or did he sign anywhere else? Can you check that out for us real quick? I don't know if they retained him or not, but the Tigers have made some trades. But yeah, it was a good win-win situation for Detroit. It's not considered a big blockbuster trade, but when you're trying to find talent down the stretch at a very economical cost, I think the trade worked out pretty well. Well, Candy finding that out, Twins owners actually ended up completing a partial sale of the team, according to Dan Hayes of The Athletic reports. The Twins actually are valued at 23rd at $1.5 billion. Do you think, Eric, a little bit of influx with that partial ownership is going to help the Twinkies out?
No, and here's why. It all goes back to the Pohlads, who are more cheaper than owners than a lot of other owners in baseball. They have that nice stadium that they said, hey, if you give us the nice stadium, we'll be able to spend some money. And they, aside from a rare Carlos Correa here and there, they haven't spent. It's practically a cash cow for the Pohlads. They're so far in debt that they really should start consider selling, so that way they can pay off all that debt. And they actually hinted that they were trying to do that, but then they ultimately retained the team and added some minority investors instead. The Twins this past trade deadline probably had the biggest blow up of a team since the Miami Marlins during the trade deadline, and they traded everybody except for Byron Buxton and also Joe Ryan, who they tried to trade, but there's just a lot of control left, and Minnesota's asking for a haul. But I don't see it really making much of a difference. I think really they're just there to help Joe Pohlad pay off his debts.
Barry?
Yeah, I don't see how that's going to be a big deal. I don't see how it's going to help the ball club much. If you don't have leadership at the top, bringing in a minority owner is not going to do you a lot of good. So I think until they're ready to open the purse strings, and they have other money, so they could, but unless you're really a big baseball fan, nobody likes to spend money on a team outside of the revenue that they're producing as a team. So I don't think it's going to have much effect.
Tony?
No, it's a philosophy. If they haven't had the philosophy to spend money before, they're not going to gain it now. Like Eric said, they got that brand new big stadium, nice stadium, and they still didn't spend money other than the random Carlos Correa or the Josh Donaldsons of the world. So I don't think anything changed, and it's still just a minority owner. So it's not like I don't think they'll have as much say as the guys at the top.
Candy, did you find any information on what I asked you to find out?
He is a free agent as of right now.
So he hasn't been signed. Okay, what are your thoughts about the Twins situation?
Yeah, I mean, minority owner, we'll just see where it goes, but not necessarily a lot of say for that. So
yeah, trying to get a little bit of cash to try to curb the debt. Okay. Now, obviously, Vaughn Grissom was acquired by the Angels from the Boston Red Sox. Some thoughts about that move, Eric?
It was originally, I liked the move when the Red Sox made it, was because they traded away an injury-prone Chris Sale for Vaughn Grissom, who was seen as the Braves' top prospect at the time, who I thought was really going to be a future piece of that team. But Atlanta traded him away and got the better end of the deal because Chris Sale has since reinvented himself and has looked like Cy Young winner Chris Sale rather than injury-prone Chris Sale that he was with the Boston Red Sox toward the latter part of his career there. And I think that Grissom is just looking to stick on a team. That's something that he hasn't been able to do due in part to injuries. And I mean, what better place than the Angels? I mean, the Angels are so bad at this point, anybody can play for them. And you get to swing a bat with Mike Trout, which is probably the only attractive thing about playing there.
That's true. Good point about Mike Trout. Barry?
Well, I think they have to go with the philosophy they can't always be unlucky because they have not made a move here in the recent past that has worked out for them. So I think this guy, he's got some ability, but he hasn't done anything yet. The good thing about it, I think he's only 25, 24, 25 years old. So, you never know about guys that have athletic ability. Somebody really thought he was a big prospect at one time. He might blossom there. I hope he does.
Tony.
Yeah, Von Grisham, 105 at bats, only 190 average, no home runs. He did drive in 6 RBIs. Maybe, like Barry said, maybe LA is just someone gets lucky and they land and they hit on this after so much bad luck with the Rendons of the world. But I don't know. It's you're buying low, right? That's how you want to do your stock. So hopefully it works out for him.
All right. Activity in the chat room. Thayer Parker, glad to have you in the chat room. Eddie Prater, good evening to you as well. Glad to have you. Candy, some thoughts about this trade.
Yeah, Grissom made his major league debut with Atlanta as a starting second baseman at Fenway Park versus the Boston Red Sox. He went 2 for 4 with a 2-run home run over the Green Monster and a stolen base in his first. He's young. He's 25. He's played with Atlanta for 2022, 2023, and then Boston Red Sox. He's had some injuries before. He was right foot inflammation. He was transferred to a 60-day, last year. So he's had some injury problems. He had a hamstring last year, so was not the best year for him. Sometimes we said earlier, sometimes a change of scenery is what you need, and different coaches and different philosophies. Maybe Los Angeles will get more out of him since he's still young and impressionable.
Everybody comment on this topic, correct? Making sure?
Yeah.
Yep.
A low risk move for the Angels. Like you said, you have to have a little bit of luck once in a while. Sometimes these low risk moves actually turn out. The Angels just spent money. It hasn't worked out before. You might as well try one of these. Okay, to the World Baseball Classic. Ellie De La Cruz will play for the Dominican Republic in the 2026 World Baseball Classic. What do you think, Eric?
I mean, good for Ellie. He's fast. He's got power. Only problem is he has a hard time making routine plays, and he strikes out a lot. But he's an exciting player, and I think he's going to be a key piece on this Dominican Republic team.
Barry?
Well, he's the kind of guy that teeters on being a star. He's got all the individual attributes to be a star, and if he puts it together in a short series, he could be very impactful. So, I think he'll probably do well during this series.
Tony?
Looking at their starting lineup for the reasons that Eric said, I don't think he starts. But when you think about his speed on the bags, late game situation, and he's a pitch runner, he can cause hell. He can wreak havoc on the bases, and that can be a big deal. But I feel like, Eric, that's the whole Dominican Republic team. There's a lot of flash, but then you look up in the semifinals, and they're not there. So it's gonna be interesting to see if they really lock in and play well for the World Baseball Classic. But it's a weapon. I don't think he starts, but it's a weapon for sure.
Candy?
He made his major league debut June 6th of 2023. His batting average is .255. He's hit 60 home runs, 206 runs batted in, and 139 stolen bases so far in his career. Kudos to Dominican Republic for getting him and getting him to play for them. Like I said, a lot of good names playing for the World Baseball Classic. I actually want to watch it now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, I enjoy providing. I don't know about you, Barry. I enjoy it with these World Baseball Classic updates, just dropping names of players. Gives us more guys to talk about. So with that said, we'll add another one. Randy Arozarena joined Mexico. You guess what? WBC. Eric?
I mean, Randy Arozarena has played on Mexico before. He's shown that he's a big game player, especially in the postseason. And I think he's a star for Mexico, and it's a good move for Mexico. He's a good when he's not like swinging it. He's got a nice swing. I'm hoping that this year he can cut down on the strikeouts because that's something he's had problems with in recent years.
Barry.
Well, he has found the magic in the playoffs before. This is sort of a playoff sort of format, so yeah, he could have he has the ability to have a great series. He has, he can steal bases. He can do a lot of things. I think cutting down strikeouts is always an issue for certain guys, and but that's sort of the way the baseball is today. Everybody's going for the home run. So, but he can be an impactful player.
Tony.
He's one of the people you don't want to see in the 8th or 9th inning, and you need an out. Okay, because he's the guy who's going to hit the one over the wall, and he's going to crush your heart as a player. So that's Randy Arozarena. That's what he's always been able to do in playoffs and World Baseball Classics in the past. I expect nothing else from him.
Candy.
He made his major league debut August 14, 2019. He's batted .250 since then, home runs 118, 390 runs batted in, and 131 stolen bases. Again, I just like the fact that these guys are going and playing for their home countries. Can't wait. Want to watch the World Baseball Classic.
Okay, more WBC. Travis Bazzana will play for Team Australia. The 2024 number overall pick plays for the Cleveland Guardians, Eric.
I mean, it's a name for Australia. I mean, he gets an opportunity to represent his country. I'm not sure how. I don't anticipate Australia just going very far, but Australia at least gets a name.
Fair enough, Barry.
Yeah, I don't. He's better than what they got, so it's good for him to be playing for his country, and we'll see how they do. I've had a couple kids play for me when I was managing minor leagues from the Australia, and they're some of the nicest kids in the world. They have a lot different mannerism about them. They're very respectful, and so I wish them well.
Well, believe it or not, Andrew Graham, the former Flying Tigers manager in the Tigers system, actually managed for Team Australia, the World Baseball Classic. And he told me that these, like you say, Barry, these are really good kids. They really, really, really are. So great stuff as well. So, all right, go ahead, Tony.
I hate to say it, nice guys are going to finish last. Okay. This is good for them. This is good for them. But if this is your big, announcement for who's on your roster, have fun. But this is great for the Guardians. Like, if I'm the Guardians, I want him playing in this. I want him having these kind of games, these at-bats, these high-pressure situations. So it'll make him more prepared for the big leagues.
Yeah, leave it for Tony to come up with the laugh of the night. That would definitely quantify for that. Go ahead, Candy. That's good. You always come up with hey Tony, you're always good for a couple of these a night. Tonight
I got to, man.
I know, but you do. It's a compliment, man. Take it.
Thank you.
Please take it, please. Okay. You did good.
He was selected first overall in the 2024 Major League Baseball draft, becoming the first Australian first overall pick, first second baseman, first overall pick, as well as the second Oregon State Beaver to do so after Adley Rutschman in 2019. He was injured some of 2025, so it'll be interesting to see how well he does and bounces back this year and how well he does in the World Baseball Classic.
Okay. We'll continue on. Benji Gill announced that Jaron Duran will play for Mexico in the 2026. You guessed it, WBC. All right, Eric.
Another good bat. It's a top of the lineup bat for them. He's got gap power and he's fast. So he's a good guy at the top of the lineup to have. I mean, he kind of fell off a little bit from his all-star year last year, but it's a good bat to have at the top. I mean, he's certainly got the tools to do it.
Barry.
Yeah, he's a tools guy. He can do a little bit of everything. It's got to be a good addition for them. I think Mexico could be a little surprising in this format.
Yeah, they looks like they made some pretty good additions, right, Tony?
Yeah,
and Jared Duran is certainly one of them.
that's a pretty good start to the outfield. I don't know who they're having playing the other corner, but you got Rosarena and you got Jalen Duran. That can cause some problems for a lineup if those two guys are hot. You know, if you got Jalen Duran at the top of the lineup and you got Rosarena backing them up to bring them in, that can be a quick 2-0 first inning for you.
Candy.
Yeah, they've got some good guys. They also Mexico will compete in Pool B in Houston, facing Great Britain, Brazil, the USA, and Italy. Their first game is scheduled for March 6th. But yeah, they have some good names on there too. It'll be interesting to see how they line up with everybody else.
Time for a station break, and then we'll have more Team Australia news when we come back. Everybody's favorite country on this show.
South Florida Tribune Publishing Company published a book, Lessons from the Microphone, Tuning into the Enduring Wisdom of Visionary Leaders. It is written by our host, Scott, the Motor City Madmouth Morganroth, talks about his 40-plus years in the industry and how it has evolved. Get your copy today. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Google, and Apple Books. Watch for the audiobook coming out shortly. Finally, there's also a link on our website, www.southfloridatribune.com, where there is a plethora of great content, so go check it out. If you like to listen to podcasts, you can find us wherever you get your podcast. If you want to advertise, or you want to sponsor a show, or you want to be on a show, you can always email us at southfloridatribune@gmail.com. Last but not least, if you see that red subscribe button in that lower right-hand corner, that means you have not yet subscribed to us. What are you waiting for? Click it, like us, share us with all your friends and family. Turn on your notifications so you're notified every time we go live. Or if you want to do it the lazy way, there's a QR code in the upper corner. Go click it and subscribe now. Back to you, Scott.
Is that lazy or is that just called efficient? I don't know, Candy, but it's a good way to do it. That's for sure. But all right, let's continue on here. WBC, Liam Hendriks of the Red Sox intends to play for, you guessed it, Team Australia in the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Liam Hendriks this time. Somebody I've actually heard of. Go ahead, Eric.
I mean, good for him for getting back on the field because he's been a free agent for a minute there. He hasn't. I think the last team he played for was the Boston Red Sox, where he got hurt, and I think at one point had Tommy John surgery. But happy to see him on the field. He's certainly been through a lot, and he's earned it.
Barry?
Yeah, I'm glad to see him back on the field as well. I don't know how healthy he is. I don't know how good his arm is anymore. But I'm sure he's a good kid. He is from Australia.
Barry, you're going to ride that theme all night, right, partner? That's okay. Go ahead and do it. Who knows what I'll come up with the next time, but that's okay. I love the theme you're riding, Barry. You're on a roll with this one. All right, Tony.
See, now I'm feeling worse, because the nice guys are still going to finish last. Liam Hendriks is a great guy. This is going to be a great story. Hopefully he gets a couple strikeouts in the World Baseball Classic. Him coming back from he had Hodgkin's lymphoma, yeah. And him coming back and be able to be a athlete at this level is just a great story. And it's good for Australia. So one time for the good guys.
There you go. All right, Canty. You guys are great, man.
Yep, he made his major league debut September 6th, 2011. He's 33-36 with an earned run average of 3.88, 739 strikeouts, 116 saves. He's played for 6 different ball team clubs, but he's been an all-star 3 times, 2 times MLB first team. He's AL reliever of the year twice. American League Comeback Player of the Year back in 2023. So it'll be interesting to see. He was injured a little bit last year, so we'll see how he manages to come back and how he looks. Now
on to a guy I'm all too familiar with, Sandy Alcantara. According to Craig Mish, who's a very good friend of mine with the Marlins, will pitch for the Dominican Republic in the 2026 World Baseball Classic. I'm going to lead off on this. Sandy Alcantara to come back from Tommy John surgery is unbelievable. Don't be surprised he's traded by the end of the year, depending what kind of value they can get for him. But I'm happy that Sandy's going to be able to go out there and pitch. He's a heck of a player, an all-star, came back from Tommy John surgery, and he is as old school as any could pitch in any era because he does a lot of innings. With that said, I turn over to Eric.
I mean, Sandy Alcantara, I'm hoping that he can get back to Cy Young form here real soon. Last year, he was kind of trying to find his way back. And, you know, he's when healthy, he's the game's best. And I know the Marlins have been trying to trade him for a little while here to hopefully get some pieces back into their farm system so they can open up a window here soon. And, you know, we'll see how it goes. But he is, when healthy, he's one of the game's best stars.
Barry?
Well, it's Tommy John. Who knows how he's going to come back? I know he had struggled last year, but you know when he's good, he's very good. So you just never know. If he comes back within the realm of 95% of how good he was before, he'll have a good spring.
Tony?
Yeah. And just to to follow up on that, Barry, that is what the Marlins have to be hoping for. Be 90 to 95 for the Dominican Republic, so the rest of the teams in the MLB can see you, and we can get you up out of here.
Right.
Let's start the rebuild. But I think that's a good thing. I think he's ready. I think he'll be good. I think the second year is normally when they're back to closer to their full form, and he should be there for the World Baseball Classic.
Candy?
Alcantara's fastball velocity generally sits around 97 miles per hour, maxing out at around 101. He uses both a four-seam fastball and a sinker, which possesses above average vertical and horizontal movement. His secondary pitches are the changeup, which averages around 90 to 94 velocity. His slider is 89 to 93 miles per hour, and curveball is 82, although his use of the curveball is very scarce. When Sandy's on, he's on, and he's lights out, and you got to be careful. We've watched him before the Tommy John surgery, and then we watched him last year trying to find himself and find his arm after recovering from the surgery. But upside, Sandy's one of the best of the best, so I don't wish him luck when he's pitching against the United States if he pitches against us. But
Agreed.
he's a good pitcher.
Yeah, but he's great for us to watch, and he's certainly a good person for you to photograph, Candy, because I only know you've taken a lot of pictures of Sandy, that's for sure. All right,
Him and
let's
his
talk
red
about
glove.
What's that?
Him and his red glove. He has a red glove that he uses, so that's one of his surefire signs. So
Well, anybody ought to know it's you. All right. The Pittsburgh Pirates signed reliever Gregory Soto to a 1-year contract. How about those Pirates, Eric?
He's a veteran reliever. You know, he's been around the block. He's your one of your relievers that's, not great, but he's a guy who can kind of come in there and kind of mop up and maybe eat some innings. It's just another vet for Pittsburgh, really. I wouldn't put too much snuff on it. It's just because Pittsburgh needs to spend money because the league's going nuts at him, and Bob Nutting is not known for spending money. I think I actually spend more money than Bob Nutting some days out of the week, and so it's just a veteran reliever. He's been around, but again, a guy in the clubhouse and a guy who can maybe eat some innings for you.
Not only eating innings, but he throws hard. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, he's a flamethrower.
If the Pirates didn't have Scanes, I don't think anybody'd care if they were in the baseball league or not. So, it's good to have a body that can go out there and eat up some innings. But I think everybody just wants to see Scanes pitch, and really the rest of the ball club, they're pretty tired. It's not a very good ball club. They don't spend the money. And it's sad because when I was in the big leagues, the Pirates were a powerhouse, and it's sad to see them just being in the league now, really not doing much.
Yeah, well, no doubt about it. I mean, they were relevant with Three Rivers Stadium. They built a new ballpark, and nobody really cares. Tony?
Yeah, man. To quote the great philosopher Charles Barkley, he's a Jag, man. Just another guy. He's going to be solid. He's going to eat some innings. We're going to see him in the game in May, June, July, and we'll forget about him by October. But they do got to spend a couple dollars. So Gregory Soto got some of that money.
You're on a roll. That was pretty good. I can't keep a straight face because of you, Tony. And you got a better beard than James Harden does. Go ahead. Go on, Candy. Go ahead, Candy. This guy's got me calling.
Soto is a 2-pitch pitcher. He throws a sinking 2-seam fastball in the 94 to 99 mile per hour range. Tops out at about 101. And he throws a slider in the 86 to 93 miles per hour, topping it out at 93. He's played for the Tigers, Phillies, Orioles, Mets, and we'll see how he does in the WBC.
All right, here's a good story we can talk about. A little pirate related somewhat anyways. Congratulations to Minnesota Twins pitcher Pablo Lopez for being the Twins nominee for the 2025 Roberto Clemente Award. Anytime you could go ahead and get mentioned in the same breath of Roberto Clemente, that says a lot. I've talked to Pablo on a few occasions, one of the nicest guys on the planet, and he's an innings eater who could compete in any era. God love Pablo, and he's one of the few guys that the Twins get rid of. Eric, you ready to talk about Pablo?
Yeah, he's been with the Twins for a while. I know he's with he was with the Marlins too, and he's solid pitcher. Not a real flamethrower, but a guy who kind of rebels against the notion that you have to be a thrower. He kind of is more finesse, and he kind of throws he's kind of more finesse, particularly with his changeup. And he helped the Twins get to the postseason a couple years ago and won their first playoff series. So give credit where credit's due. I have a feeling though that the Twins are more than likely going to trade him during the deadline, because I don't anticipate that team being relevant in October this year.
Yeah, I mean, the Marlins traded him to the Twins for Luis Arias. It turned out to be a one-year rental. We got a batting title for him anyways. Barry?
It's a great honor to be nominated for that award. So if nothing else in his career, he's got that to brag about. But I've only seen him interviewed on TV a couple times. I don't even know if I've ever seen him pitch. And he seemed like a nice young man. So good for him.
You know what, Barry? He's really good. Eats a lot of innings, and he goes deep, and he throws a lot of strikeouts too. I like Pablo. He's been always one of my favorite pitchers in this era. And Barry, I've seen a lot of pitchers in my day.
You have.
Okay, Tony, I don't know if you can laugh at this guy. He's legit.
No, I would not laugh at Pablo Lopez. I could say something, but I'm not going to do that.
I'm sure you could. Come on, ease up on this guy. You can go after the other one, so I don't care.
No. Pablo Lopez, man. I agree with Eric. He is somebody who can swing a pennant race, I believe. Even like right now. I think he can really help a team win and get to the playoffs. But like I said, I think last week or maybe the week before, we were talking about Roberto Clemente or just people who do great things off of the field. This is what it's about. Baseball is only any sport you play is just a short part of your life. You normally retire before you're 40. Leaving your legacy as a great person is what's important, man. So this is very good for Pablo Lopez.
Candy?
The Roberto Clemente Award is arguably baseball's single most prestigious award, given annually to the player who best represents the game of baseball through extraordinary character, community involvement, philanthropy, and positive contributions both on and off the field. It requires both baseball excellence and community commitment, and Lopez consistently displays both. Lopez is certainly he makes a point to be available for Twins community events whenever he can. Most recently with an event where he purchased and helped distribute back to school kits for teachers. He used the Pablo Day promotion to benefit local causes as well. And while Lopez's philanthropy is broad-based, there are a couple of reoccurring themes that go back to the first place he called home. He loves supporting educational causes when he gets the chance. He's the son of 2 doctors who constantly emphasized education, and he could have gone to medical school. He seeks connection to Minnesota's Venezuela community when he can, too. So, just a great guy on and off the field.
You hear a lot, all different kinds of stories out there. Every now and then, when you get a feel-good story like Pablo Lopez, it's our responsibility to bring it out here on a national level and talk about it. And Pablo Lopez is a winner on and off the field. 3 more topics to get to. Show rolling around real well. The A's AAA affiliate Source, who are first title since 1988, wherever they're located at, whether it's Vegas or Sacramento, at least the A's have something to look forward to in the future, Eric, with the minor league talent coming up.
Well, they got a nice haul back when they traded for Mason Miller. When they got Mason Miller from the San Diego Padres, I think what's going on now is you're starting to see these guys come of age because people forget, though, you actually learn how to win at the minor league level before you can do it at the major league level, and it generally translates to good things. I think that the A's are starting to happen upon their annual window where they'll be good for a period of time, maybe win an AL West title, get a wild card spot, or go to the postseason. So I think they're starting to kind of come back to that.
Barry?
Yeah, I agree. I think you need to win in the minor leagues. I think you can win and develop players at the minor leagues. I mean, really, the only thing you have to worry about in the minor leagues is how you use your pitching staff. If you take care of your pitching staff, and you can still win. Just got to watch pitch count and stuff. But it's good for the organization to win, especially at AAA, because you got to have a winning mentality to win at the major leagues, in my opinion.
Well, there's no better guy that managed the minors than you did. All you did was win a couple titles. I mean, they could talk from position of strength as you, Barry. And I know you won one with me when I was with you. And I saw what you did. Yeah, so I lived it with this guy.
I couldn't have done it without you, Scott. Are you kidding?
Hey, come on. Somebody had to go ahead and talk to you after the game and hit you with those real hard questions at the end that you took gracefully everyone. Give me a break. Yeah. You taught me a lot about this sport, Mr. Foote. No, I'm telling you, for all you folks that are joining us for the first time, Barry and I worked together in 1984 when he was the manager of the Fort Lauderdale Yankees. All we did was win a Florida State League title. Barry's a winner on and off the field. This guy wins in business and he wins on the field, and I'm glad that he's my battery mate. But nobody can be better on this than you anyways. All right, Tony, go ahead.
Oh, man, it's going to be controversial. MAGA, make the A's great again. I like when the A's are good in baseball. They're like one of the small market teams that I find myself cheering for. I like when they're good. So this is good. It starts with minor leagues, right? Now, will the A's keep all this talent? Will they, farm them out? Hopefully not. They have to get good and have a good team leading into Las Vegas. So I hope that's the plan for them. And like I say, I like seeing that green and yellow good in baseball. I feel like it's good for the sport.
Candy?
I guess I didn't realize that the A's have moved around as much as they have, knowing that they started in Philadelphia, Kansas City, Oakland, all over. I mean, but they're going to play in West Sacramento, and they're planning to relocate then to Las Vegas in time for the 2028 season. Yet the franchise has 9 World Series championships, 15 pennants, and 17 divisional titles, are second most in the AL after the Yankees. Something I did not know.
Well, I'll give you another thing you didn't know either. Many years ago, Billy Martin took over a team, and this team nearly moved to Denver when a guy by the name of Marvin Davis, right, Eric, knowing you probably know it, an oil man nearly bought him, but Charlie Finley and Bowie Kuhn, that thing got blocked, and Billy ended up managing for Charlie Finley. So, Candy, he nearly managed at Denver. Barry, is there something you want to add to this?
No, I remember all that, but no, it's good that the A's have got into a new situation, new stadium, and all that. I think it's going to be good for their franchise.
Yeah, I think so too. All right.
I can't,
Another real big.
Scott, I can't imagine having a. I'm not sure which room I'd be concerned about. Billy Martin in a room with Charlie Finley or with George Steinbrenner.
That's a good, but that's a good point. You guys are good.
I'd be a little concerned.
I don't have a rebuttal for that. You guys are really good. First time I've actually had this fivesome together, and each and every one of you bring some. That's cool stuff. I like watching this stuff.
I mean, Barry survived 2 seasons with George.
Yeah, I worked
In the
directly
80s.
for George for 1 year off the field, so I'm a George Steinbrenner fan. So I'm a little bit on the other side. I liked him. He did a lot of things, humanitarian things that people never knew about, especially in the Fort Lauderdale area.
Yeah, I have no problem with them. The one thing I learned about George Steinbrenner, though, Barry, in my book, I'll take it to one of these, mail to you one of these days. But I'll never forget when I was asking him. I did have a chance to interview him one-on-one, but I waited for the end to answer the manager's question, and that's when he decided that enough was enough. But the best part about it was Ted Koppel did the same thing, and he got it worse than I did. But I got chewed out a little bit. I was a young tyke. You know me back then. I was a fearless, you know what, so it doesn't matter. Hey, George, treated me the same way as Ted Koppel. I didn't know that bad. I had no problem. Barry, I got to get you a copy of that book. It's got to now. All right. 2 more things we're going to talk about. Marlins Otto Lopez is going to be playing for Team Canada at the WBC, Eric.
I mean, Otto Lopez is a young guy. I mean, he clearly made his mark on the Marlins this past year, had 15 home runs and 77 RBI, so he had himself a decent year. And I think he's going to be a centerpiece for this team in the coming years. I mean, you know, he's earned it. He's a young guy, and I think this will be good for him.
Barry?
Well, it's going to be a great experience for him. It looks like he could be a star type player, so it'll certainly be good for him. And I think the problem with the Marlins is it's just hard to ever see them play. You know, if you're not in Florida where you can watch them on TV, I just never see them. I see the highlights, and that's about it of what I see of the Marlins.
Yeah, good point, Eddie. George put his money into the Yankees. I'll tell you what, he bought them from CBS and saved them big time. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, this is good for Otto Lopez. It's good for the Marlins. Like I say, when you're a team who's struggling or a team that's on the come up and on the rise, you want your players to play in these situations as much as possible to prepare them for the season beforehand. And like Eric said, I think he's going to be a big centerpiece. So he's going to get a lot of at bats. He's going to be ready for the season come opening day.
Oh, for sure.
Candy?
Yeah, he's a good infielder who's done well for the Marlins. So it'll be interesting to see how he does on the World Baseball Classic and see how he performs. Now, he is a younger one, too. He's only 27. He's since his major league debut was August 17th of 2021. He's batting .260. He's got 21 home runs and 119 runs batted in.
Well, another boost for Team Canada anyways. Final topic of the night. Folks, we don't always have marathon shows. We like to go through the topics quick. If it's all nuts and bolts, black and white news information, we don't mind bringing you those too because they're all educational. A lot of what we had tonight is World Baseball Classic. There'll be more WBC updates over the north in the next few weeks as well. The San Francisco Giants and Jason Foley, right-handed pitcher, agreed to terms on a 1-year deal, major league contract. He played for the Detroit Tigers. How much is Jason Foley going to help the guys out in San Francisco, Eric?
He's going to be. I think he's going to be a. I think he's ultimately either going to close or be the setup guy to Ryan Walker. So I would expect him to get some save opportunities though, because he has experience closing. It wasn't that long ago that he was a solid closer for the Detroit Tigers. It was actually part of that bullpen parade during their surprise run in the postseason here a couple of years ago, and nearly and they came within a Lane Thomas home run away from taking on the Yankees in the ALCS. But you know, last year he had a down year. I think the body of work is there where he can get it back because, you know, as we all know, relievers, you never know. They're dime a dozen. There some years they can get out. Other years you're wondering where the ball is going to go when they're on the mound. But Foley, I think, can get it back.
Barry?
Yeah, I think relief pitchers are sort of like place kickers. They have ups and downs, and when they're doing well, they can do a good job. And this guy has had success. And I tell you, the pitchers are the most difficult guys to really project how well they're going to do, because one thing, they could come up with a new pitch, they could come up with a little cutter, do something. But this guy's a veteran guy. He'll probably be a good addition to the Giants.
Tony.
Looking at his numbers, he goes under 3 ERA, over 3 ERA, under 3 ERA, over 3 ERA. If I'm the Giants, I'm betting on a good year. It's an even year, and this is the year for him to be under 3 ERA. I might go put some money on the Giants to win the World Series this year. I'm just saying.
Oh, you got that Bochy devil magic.
Hey, I'm just saying.
You got that Bosch.
You got to follow the trends, man.
Well, good. Bring me somewhere on Wednesday when you do the early sports exchange. I got some.
Well, they got the kind of manager that can take you to a World Series. I'll say that.
Yep.
Well, Tony Vitelli.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, look, he'd be the first college guy to do that. So, hey, look, there you go.
Well, I got news for him. I'm intrigued to see what this guy's going to do this year. Let's face it, not really. They got Dusty Baker in that organization and Bruce Bochy. So Vitelli's going to have some pretty good ears talking to him throughout the way. You know, a lot of good voices in that organization. Good stuff, Barry. Go ahead, Candy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this year goes. And I'm interested to see how this coach Tony does. 47-year-old making history as he's becoming the first coach to ever jump from the college level to MLB as a manager. So I'm interested in that.
Okay. Well, guess what?
I think
We're on the top.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I was going to add to Tony Vitelli. I think the thing that Tony Vitelli is doing, unlike what a lot of college coaches do in football, is Tony Vitelli is not trying to do it all on his own. I think that having Dusty Baker and Bruce Bochy around who've done that and won again everywhere they've gone is a good thing. I think though that he's in the right situation where he's got guys he can learn from. But it's clear though he's not trying to do it all on his own, which is why I think a lot of college coaches in football fail.
Oh, I mean, Buster Posey put some good people around him. I see no reason why Vitelli won't do well. Actually, that's it for topics tonight. Plenty to throw out there. So with that said, Eric, let everybody know how they can get a hold of you.
You can follow me on my Twitter at Sports Team News, or check out my blog at bellyupsports.com, where I'm writing all things Milwaukee Brewers. And if you think I don't like your team, I probably don't.
Okay, Barry, let everybody know how they get a hold of you, my friend, my battery mate.
Right here on Monday nights when I'm on time. So we'll see you here.
It's all good, Barry. It don't matter. You get here. I love having you on. I told you I'll be on until I'm dead. So I'll try to put that off as long as I can so I get to spend it every Monday night with my day. Oh, come on, Barry. You and I go back a long way. I love having you on, Barry. You show up when you get on. I'll wait. Start it when you get on. It's no big deal. We'll have Warren Brewster back on too. This guy is his keeper. He's a lifelong friend of mine.
Yep.
You name it, he is it to me. All right, Tony, go ahead. You only get a 48-hour break, pal.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. When I'm not here on Mondays and Wednesdays and closer to baseball season Saturdays, you can find me talking game on Wednesdays at 3:30 p.m. We live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
And by the way, Tony, just so you know, we're going to be doing a show on Saturday, the 24th of this month here. We're going to have a pretty good group on there, and you're going to be on that show, just so you know. All right, Eric, anything you want to add to it? Or not?
Nope, that's all.
All right, Candy, one last station break, and that'll be it. So go ahead, Candy.
South Florida Tribune Publishing Company published a book, Lessons from the Microphone, Tuning into the Enduring Wisdom of Visionary Leaders. It is written by your host, Scott, the Motor City Madmouth Morganroth. Talks about his 40-plus years in the media business and how it has evolved over those 40 years. Old school media versus new school media. Get your copy today. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Google, and Apple Books. Watch for the audiobook. It's coming out shortly. The other place you can get the link is on our website, www.southfloridatribune.com, where there is a plethora of great content, so go check it out. If you like to listen to podcasts, you can find us wherever you get your podcast. If you see that red subscribe button in that lower right-hand corner, that means you have not yet subscribed to us. What are you waiting for? Just click it, like us, share us with all your friends and family, and then turn on your notifications so you're notified every time we go live. One last plug that I don't normally do, but I'm going to do it tonight. Tuesday nights, 7:30 p.m. If you like to listen to Chicks Talking Sports, come on over to the Chicks Podcast. You'll find me there and a couple of my lady friends, and we talk sports. So the Chicks Podcast, 7:30 Eastern, Tuesday nights.
I can tell you, lots of people say she's better than I am. More power to her. I don't care. I don't have a big ego. If she's better than I am, I know she's a heck of a lot prettier than I am. That's for sure. But nevertheless, go ahead and give Candy a watch, and don't forget to plug yourself for Fire Up on Thursday nights too, in the Country Club at 9:30. That's when a lot of people go out there and say, you know, you're better than a lot of who you have against. You can't say anything about me on that show. I don't go on it. So go out there, and every time you get a chance to see Candy on her own, do it. Anybody else have any closing thoughts for the night?
Mm-mm.
No.
All right, well, that does it for this edition. 108 Inches Baseball Talk. Lots of programming this week, so stay with us here on the network. So on behalf of Eric, Candy, Barry, Tony, my name is Scott Morgan, Rock Motor City Manville. Thank you for joining us on this edition of 108 Inches Baseball Talk. We'll catch you the next time. Have a good night, everybody.